Hello everyone, I'm Vincent White. I'm an employment attorney in New York State, and today we're talking about criminal record discrimination. I see attorneys essentially answering questions on websites like abo.com, and sometimes they tell people that criminal record discrimination doesn't exist, that companies can just choose not to hire you because you did time or you were convicted of a felony, and that might be true in certain situations in certain states. It's often true if let's say you want to work in the financial industry and you were convicted of fraud. Well, your conviction is directly in line with what the nature of the business is, and it makes you really unsuited to work in that business. So in that case, in most situations, you're not going to get that job, and that's not going to be considered discrimination. It's going to be considered essentially common sense by the employer. But in New York State, if the job isn't really related to the nature of your crime and you've done your time, that's going to be considered discrimination. There's a specific statute in New York State that protects you from that. And be very careful listening to attorneys from other states who are going to tell you, no, it's not protected. It is, and it's strange that they would answer questions in New York State when they don't really know the answer. That's probably not wise. Now, on the federal level, it's a little bit more complex. There's what you call impact litigation, which means it's not technically illegal for an employer to say, oh, you have a criminal record, I don't want to hire you. But if the nature of the crime you were convicted for has some kind of tie into a protected class, and often it's generally race related. So unfortunately, there's a lot more prosecution for drug crimes for people from certain minorities, and so let's say you're convicted, you have a possession charge, possession with intent. Well, there's a good chance that has an undue impact on, unfortunately, the African American population. Right now, the way things have gone in recent years, has been a lot of the drug war and everything else has been a problem, and that's certainly, there's a statistical link between the African American population and convictions for intent to distribute. So at that point, that's not really just criminal record discrimination anymore. That's impact litigation. That's racism because of that tie-in, that to the conviction tie-in, and that's something even on the federal level, in really any state, the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission is going to be looking at. And if that's something you're experiencing, you should be speaking to an employment attorney. So, long story short, if you're in New York State and you're looking for a job and someone tells you, you've got a criminal record, not going to hire you, talk to an attorney. You might have rights, you might have options. There's no reason you shouldn't be scheduling a free consultation to find out what your rights are rather than just guessing at them or maybe getting bad advice from someone. So be careful, know your rights. I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.